Frank Sanchez says in 2022, this is the year he hopes he gets a title shot. Let's talk about this.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the livest one in the section. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I'm strolling on boxing scene. Link will be in the description. Frank Sanchez. This is a bad man, ladies and gentlemen. Remember I told you? Remember I said this. Frank Sanchez had an interesting Tuesday morning as he found out that his opponent on his Saturday's pay-per-view card in Florida, Carlos Negron, was forced out of their bout after testing positive for C-19. This has been an ongoing thing around the world. Yet, by the early evening, Sanchez was checked into a hotel with a new opponent, Christian Hammer, and not a care in the world when it comes to this weekend's festivities. Y'all remember Christian Hammer? Y'all know who that is? Y'all know who Christian Hammer is? Christian Hammer, you know what you do? Just Google it. Just Google him. Just Google him. I'm not even going to take the show in that direction. I'm not even going to take it in that direction, but you go ahead and Google Christian Hammer. He said, it didn't affect me at all, said Sanchez through a translator. He's of Cubans. He is Cuban. These are the kind of things that can happen in boxing. And I'm ready for whatever comes my way, be it a change in opponent or whatever kind of circumstances may change. I'm always going to be able to adapt and come out even better on the other end. As for Germany's Hammer, Sanchez has seen enough of his new foe to believe the 34-year-old isn't going to be one to put a mark on his loss, mark in his loss column. I have him well measured, well studied by now, said Sanchez. I will be able to see some of his fights this afternoon, and I can see that he fought against really good opponents, but I got him measured up, and I'm ready to face him Saturday night. A win would be the perfect way for the 29-year-old to kick off what may be the biggest year of his pro career, which comes on the heels of a pretty impressive 2021 campaign that saw him improve to a 19-0 with 13 knockouts thanks to wins over Nagy Aguilera and Efe Jagba. I believe that was the co-main event of the Wilder Fury 3. I was there in attendance. Efe got beat up pretty bad, man. And I always knew, well, I wasn't for sure because I said, Efe, he got cracks in that hand, but he was outboxed and he dropped Efe. He styled on him, man. It was a unanimous decision. I said, man, this guy's a bad man. Frank Sanchez is a problem, but let me go ahead and read. Oh, look, see, I'm reading this for the first time, family. The next paragraph, it says, it was a victory over the previously unbeaten Jagba on the Wilder Fury 3 undercard in October that really opened the eyes of what Sanchez brings to the heavyweight division, as he handled the hard-hitting Nigerian with relative ease. See, I just said that. Dropping him once en route to a clear-cut unanimous decision win. And yeah, it was easy as it looked for the Cuban Flash. To be honest with you, I thought it was going to be harder for me, that he was going to apply a little more pressure, says Sanchez. But in the end, I had a pretty easy time with it. Most believe this weekend's bout with Hammer should be a similar result. And then if he has his way, the stakes will get higher throughout the rest of 2022. He says, I do feel like I'm ready to fight against the best of the best, the elite, the top fighters in the world, said Sanchez. In 2022 is the year where I hope to get a shot at a title and start to shine and make my dream come true. It's not just Sanchez's dream to put a world title belt around his waist. It's the dream for a nation that has never had a world heavyweight king in the pro ranks. And the fascination ever since Cuban boxers started trading blows in the prize rings outside of their native country. Y'all can go ahead and read the rest. I mean, he says a lot here, but let me say this. Link will be in the description. Frank Sanchez is a bad man. This guy's a bad man. He's at the right age. You know, this guy is, dare I say, he's a total package. I haven't seen too many flaws. And he's looked really good against people that I feel he was supposed to beat. But, you know, early in your career, they line you up. That's why you have matchmakers. They line you up with people that you're supposed to beat. In between that, they might throw you a curveball to say, okay, you know, let me give him some adversity. Let's see how this works out. And to the untrained eye, you will never know what that curveball is. Let's say, you know, 5 fights in, you give him a bunch of people that, you know, okay, these are gym fighters. You know, these guys get beat up in the gym. Let's boost the record up. Okay, but fight number 6, let's see what he's made of. Let's put him in the ring with, I don't know, like let's say a southpaw, somebody with better footwork, somebody that's with a little more length. Somebody was tapping him up in sparring. How was that guy doing that in sparring? Okay, yeah, you know, he has a little trouble on the inside. Let's give him a guy that's an inside fighter, but he can't really punch. Let's see how this man could think. Well, let me explain something to you guys. That Cuban school of boxing is something else. Those guys are well schooled. And I know the biggest gripe is you quote unquote never know their age. There's rumors that Guillermo Rigondeaux is 50 years old. I mean, I say that jokingly, but people are like, oh, we don't know his age. Oh, old man Ortiz. Meanwhile, King Kong, old man Ortiz, how many people ducked him? King Kong Ortiz didn't scratch $1 million, and he'd have never scratched $1 million in the world of boxing if it wasn't for Deontay Wilder. Because AJ, although Ortiz was AJ's responsibility, AJ ain't want no parts of it. That's a fact. That is a fact. And just when you think Ortiz was out, because, you know, he's fighting on this card, by the way. He's the main event against Charles Martin. Good luck to both fighters. But I got to tell you guys, man. Ortiz, I mean, I don't know. If he beats Charles Martin, if he doesn't get a big fight after that, he might as well just pack it up. But no sooner than he's packing it up, here comes Frank Sanchez. I'm telling you guys. You know, this is boxing. I mean, he can go in there against Christian Hammer. You know, he only had time to, you know, Negron just pulled out this week. So he says he had some time to look at some tape or whatever, and he can adjust. You know, you got to think like a Marine. You know, Marines think outside the box. All right. So if he's that well schooled, you know, he could look at some tape and say, okay, I'm going to expect this. He does this every fight. You know, just some minor adjustments. And if he goes in there and dominates Christian Hammer, I don't know if Christian Hammer was, you know, staying in shape. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. But Frank will be the favorite. And 2022 is going to be a big year for Frank. And look for this man to get avoided. They did it to King Kong Ortiz. Every excuse in the book. Every excuse in the book. You're gonna see. You know you've made it in boxing when you see a talent like Frank Sanchez, and people when he's right in line to do something that'll benefit him, title shot, eliminator, something. You'll start reading people saying, well, what has he done? He don't deserve a fight against so-and-so. What has he done? Who's he beaten? Listen, if you're ranked number 1 or you're a mandatory, that's what you've done. All of that what he's done stuff, that's fanboy talk. Unless you're on your favorite fighter's team and you're making money and he's paying you to be on the web and do that stuff, you shouldn't be talking like that. If you support a certain fighter, you should want that fighter to leave no doubt that they're the best. And if Frank Sanchez is in the way, you want your favorite fighter to fight this guy. This is a bad man. I've been saying it. I'm going to stand on it. Now, this is boxing. Anything can happen. But as it stands right now, I know Christian Hammer, you know, these late switches a couple of days before a fight, that could be a recipe for disaster. I know, because he was training for Negron, and now he's getting Christian Hammer. So there's always that chance that there could be an oops moment. I don't know if there's going to be an oops moment. I don't know. But based off of the eye test, and I'm an educated eye, based off of what you've seen him do to F.A. Jogba, he had an easy time with him, and he wasn't just talking crap. He really did have an easy time with him. The deal is this here. This guy is the truth. This guy is a problem for any heavyweight. I only hope that, you know, certain events lead to other events. I hope he's not the co-main event en route to fighting the winner of the main event, which is Ortiz and Martin. I mean, let's be frank. A lot of people are picking Ortiz to win this fight. I don't want to see Frank Sanchez in the ring against King Kong Ortiz if Ortiz wins. I don't want to see that fight, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of what Ortiz has been through throughout his career. I don't want to see that. I would say, you know, this is a passing of the torch, but Ortiz has been avoiding enough. He's been so avoided that he doesn't even have a damn torch. The two spectacular fights he did have was against Deontay Wilder, and unfortunately, he got stopped in both of those fights. So what torch would he be passing to Frank Sanchez? And I just don't think Ortiz was treated fair. I know he had he popped dirty. I know that. But hey, man, who hasn't popped dirty? A lot of fighters haven't popped dirty. But a lot of you fans have normalized this cheating atmosphere. You've normalized that behavior. So since you've normalized it, I can forgive King Kong Ortiz. So with that being said, okay, I hope that this isn't en route to an Ortiz versus Frank Sanchez. Because if that is, this is another example of the new Black Murderers Row. Drew, what you talking about? Yeah, look it up. And I got enough time in this video to review it. This is a new Black Murderers Row. You probably gonna try. They're gonna probably try and put Ortiz in the ring with Frank Sanchez. I don't need these two. Not only these two brothers, but they're from the same country. No, Ortiz need to be fighting John Ruiz or somebody. Frank Sanchez is on the right route. Fight King Kong for what? Don't do it. No need. This guy is setting his own path. And I'm telling you right now, if I'm going to make a decision on who's going to make enough noise between next year and 2025, it's this man right here. Look for him to get ducked. Look for him to get the King Kong Ortiz treatment. And when you go on these videos and you see things being said, I'm going to reiterate this. When you see things being said, like what has he done? Who has he fought? That's when you know they're scared of him. That's when you know. Who is he? What has he done? But you're looking at all the sanctioning body. He's ranked number one, mandatory. That's when you know. What has he done? Where's he ranked? What has he done is no excuse to duck somebody. I'm not having that. If you're ranked, you fight. And if you stand on those silly ass arguments, you're everything wrong with boxing. No exception to the rule. So cut it out. This is a bad man right here. And all we want is for the best to fight the best, do we not? Okay. So good luck to Frank. He got to get past Christian Hammer. In 2022, let's see what happens. Bronx on deck. Move!